Doing this for 30 years. You want to see what my most prized chicken laid?
It's right here.
Damn, it's a gold-plated egg.
All right, we're gonna start.
Hey guys, this is Sam Linares, the host of this podcast. We still don't have a name for it, but we have a very special guest today, Chase Walling. Let me give you a round of applause over here. There you go. Woo! Thank you so much for being here, Chase. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Chase Walling. I'm married with 3 great boys. I work in the construction industry. I sell construction materials to luxury home builders specifically. I live in the Houston area. I have lived in the Houston area the majority of my life. That's where I do most of my business and work. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Man, 3 boys, bro. How's that?
I'm tired, as always.
It's a rowdy house, huh?
Yeah. My wife stays at home, so business has been good. It's always something new, and it really gives me a drive in my career and really everything. So
in your business,
I'm super fortunate.
No, that's good, bro. You have a brand new baby, right? 2 months old.
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
We were hoping for a girl, but it's just not in my plan,
right.
And I just have to accept that. So.
I mean, maybe you could go for the girl.
Maybe. We'll see how much, as the kids get older, how much financially these boys are gonna cost.
Yeah, no, that's good, bro. I know that you said that you're in the construction part of the real estate business per se. So you deal with materials for luxury home builders. Is that what it is? Or?
That is correct. I sell custom windows and doors. We're actually a manufacturer. We make all of our products here in Houston, Texas. And I work directly with builders and or homeowners to basically build the house of their dreams or be a part of that.
So. Be a part of it. So I'm pretty sure you see some crazy real estate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of the houses I look at, I'm really not looking at it too hard unless it's going to go on the market for over $2 million.
$2 million, at least, and then it goes up too.
That's usually the threshold, yeah.
So you wouldn't be going to like a regular Joe, telling them, like I'm trying to get you windows for your house.
Yes and no, because some people like what I have, and sometimes the product does the talking. I do have other products because we're a manufacturer. I distribute other products that are probably more of a better fit for like a neighborhood, community type homes. I don't stick my nose up to them at all. I think business is business, and I like to help out whoever I can. But most of the time, it's new construction, custom homes, or retrofit custom homes.
Right. So like regular sales price, so you're saying it's $2 million. So we're talking about like big houses, about 3,000, 4,000 square feet.
Yeah. Most of the time it's more than that, but yeah, they get large. I think the biggest one I've done was about 16,000 square foot.
How many bedrooms was that?
What's crazy is on these houses, there's not that many bedrooms.
Right.
Like 5 or 6. But then you have rooms like butler's pantries. You have casitas or the mother-in-law suite.
Right. I mean,
usually it's separated from the house. Yeah. I love that too. All respect to the mother-in-laws, but you can stay here, just not in this house. Just one
just over there.
I paid a lot of money for that house, so enjoy.
That's pretty crazy. But I mean, that's crazy that you say that. Whenever I think of that higher end luxury market, I think of I don't know, maybe like 8 bedrooms or something like that. But you're saying it's 5 bedrooms, and then they have like crazy amenities.
Yeah, I mean, usually the bigger homes like that, there's 5 bedrooms. Mind you, some of the other rooms can be utilized as a bedroom, like they have closets and stuff. So from an inspection standpoint, they are bedrooms. But when I look at these architectural plans, a lot of the times, it'll say, primary bedroom, bedroom 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's it. And depending on, because I primarily work in the custom market, a lot of those other, what technically are bedrooms, they can be used for a multitude of things. You have like a prayer room, depending, what faith you originate from.
Mm-hmm.
You have an exercise room, playroom. I've kind of seen it all. I haven't seen anything like crazy yet, like a red room.
Like a red room, like a torture room. You haven't seen that?
No. I would definitely. I would be a little concerned on the walkthrough if I saw that on plans.
Why is this like soundproof and
Yeah.
No, that's pretty crazy. What's it like the craziest thing that you've seen in a house that you're like, they have this here? Like, I don't know, like a crazy amenity.
Probably the house that I showed you before this in Lovelady. I sold him a lot of windows and doors, but they have a bifolding door. And then right outside that door, basically a bifolding door is like, let's say it's 6 panels and it all stacks up to either left or right. And he opens all that up. I forgot which way it goes, but it was right. That's the most important thing. He'll stack it all the way up. And the guy is pretty much the homeowner. He's hitting golf balls from inside his house, like driving them.
So he has a driving range straight from his house to like a lake, you said there was.
I don't know how good he is at golf, so it could be in the pond. So most of those golf balls probably will never be retrieved. But the pond's huge, so I think it's just so he can have his buddies come over and stuff and drive some golf balls with the comfortability of being inside, which is, I thought that was crazy cool.
Because it's kind of like going to Topgolf, but at your house.
Yeah, step on over here.
Hey, I want to go hit some balls, and instead of going to the driving range, you just go down to your, what did they call it? A golf room?
I think it was actually called the driving room.
The driving room.
Yeah, because he's driving. Yeah, I think we even had to do specialty glass in the event someone tries to hit a golf ball when the door's not open.
Yeah.
So we did like bulletproof per se glass.
That's crazy. So that room strictly golf room, right?
Yes.
Does it have a simulator as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Man, that's pretty crazy.
It is, and it's a relatively large room too. I am going to go to the project and get to take a bunch of pictures. The homeowners gave me permission. Really great experience working with those folks. They're really big in the community they bought their house in, so I'm really anxious to see the finished product of that house. Not only the products I sold, but the house as a complete unit, just because a lot of time went into that house designing, from the architect to the builder to the homeowners, they put a lot of time into. So I want to see the final result and capture some images.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool experience. I feel like normally you wouldn't really interact with somebody like that, would you? Like, or how would you, like, you could probably never know these people are crazy rich like that, huh? No.
Most of the people I work with, specifically in Houston, the Houston area and surrounding areas, I'll just say Texas. A lot of the people come off as very humble. Like when I do retrofits specifically in River Oaks and Tanglewood. Retrofits basically it's a remodel essentially.
Okay. So you're taking an older house and then you're remodeling it. You're making it like flipping a property and putting it up to date.
Correct. When I go in some of these retrofits, I'm seeing their kids, if I was talking to the husband, their wife's there, vice versa, So most of these people that are really wealthy, they're pretty normal. Surprisingly, before I started doing what I was doing, I did have the opportunity to meet some really well-off people in construction, because that's how I got into this business. The people that I work with that are really wealthy like this, if you saw them on the street, you would have no idea that they, Yeah, correct.
That's
correct. Now, I do know what these people do for a living too, which was is actually pretty surprising. That how it was interesting.
That's pretty cool. We were actually talking about it in the last episode about things people spend money on, right? And our guest was talking about like one of his biggest pet peeves. He's Cuban, right? So
Sure.
he was talking that one of his biggest pet peeve was like people spending a ton of money on like these big Cuban chains that aren't really gold, they're like gold plated.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're rich, you really don't have to show it like that. You don't see a multimillionaire walking around with the, big gold chain or anything like that, do you?
No, I think that's mostly people that are always going to be captured by like the paparazzi. And I think that also says a lot about the people that go about doing that too, because they want that recognition, or at least whether it be false recognition if it's gold plated, but certain people, they crave that attention and recognition that nice things will give you. But the people that I visit with, I mean, I don't think any of them have shown me anything super flashy. I've seen some really nice cars,
I'm sure.
but it's never above and beyond. Like I've never went into one of these houses that are multi-million dollars and I've just seen like 30 cars,
Yeah, nothing crazy. But
no, nothing crazy.
Maybe like they probably have like their car collection somewhere else. They probably
I'm
have
sure.
their private garage.
Yeah.
Where they'll take care of them. They'll run them here and there, make sure that they keep running.
They don't want Chase, the window salesman, to see it.
Yeah, for sure. They're like, oh man, you're gonna charge me up for this. No, that's cool. So like talking about your career now that you're selling luxury goods per se, like luxury windows for custom builders. How did you get your foot in the door? How was that transition from the construction part that you were in?
The transition was great because I work a lot less, physically and mentally for sure. What I was doing before, I didn't have kids yet. I actually had my oldest son, Mason, towards the end of my construction career. But the issue that I had with construction is I was a salary employee. I still technically am right now, but I was making, not enough to be working 70 hours a week. And it was very, most of my time was dedicated to that company. And I really learned a lot at that company. So much so that a lot of other people started to recognize it, and I made that transition from, blue collar work to white collar work. Mm-hmm. And I was able to utilize a lot of my construction experience into what I do now, and I help my clients quite a bit, even with trades, because I'm still in contact with all my subcontractors I used to work with. Love those guys, but I'm able to help some of my clients, like, hey, I need a concrete guy. Well, I still have quite a few of them in my phone that I talk to, they're friends, and I have no problem ever referring them. But a friend of mine, basically, he heard me complaining about how much I worked, and he asked me if I wanted to go do what he did. And I was like, okay, like, how much do you work? How much do you make? He told me, and I didn't believe any of it, because I was like, windows, doors.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
nah, not a chance. I was like, I'm building whole buildings, commercial buildings, and like, I'm making like $50K a year. Like, this doesn't sound
it doesn't sound
correct
like
at all. It sounds like a pipe dream, And then I decided that my son was on the way, that I was just gonna make the leap and chase the dollars, and then also a peace of mind with knowing that my time, is a good mix between work and then family, because it's very important to have a work-life balance for sure.
No, yeah, that's very interesting, and I think that you did it the right way of going through a learning process of
sure,
like seeing like I remember whenever, like, we've been friends for a good while, and I remember you getting off work and just being like completely sunburned, like dirty, all those things, and it's kind of like you were you had to kind of work your butt off in that sense to get to this position now, where it's like, okay, like you have the know-how, and it's not like, oh, you're just telling them, oh, you should do this, you should do that, but you have some experience in the fact of like you know how things are constructed and you know how the building process is.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy. I actually met my wife working at Papacitos. Shout out Cito 7.
Cito 7. We worked there together. Well, not together, right?
No, I was after you. I was a late bloomer.
He was a late bloomer. I think in our group of friends, pretty much everybody worked there.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's like a rite of passage to be one of us.
Except for my brother. My brother never worked there.
Yeah, no, he didn't. It's not too late.
I mean, he could still do it. But everybody else kind of did their time in Papacitos and then moved on to different things.
Yeah. But I met my wife at Papacitos, and I ended up leaving the service industry. It wasn't a long-term thing for me. And construction always interested me.
Right.
And then I left Papacitos, and then I started off with a dirt company. That's when you saw me sunburn all the time.
Sunburn.
I was making minimum wage.
So that was a downgrade from what you were making at Papacitos.
For sure, but the biggest thing that I think younger people need to realize with that, and this kind of goes back to, the Cuban chain type deal. So many people think, they're like one call away, which you can be from, working like a bartender job or something like that to making over 6 figures a year. It does not happen like that for most people. And I knew that, and I was starting my family, so I jumped from the service industry to doing dirt work, building building pads, and doing underground utilities for commercial buildings, making minimum wage. Still the best job I ever had. As far as fun,
it was just fun.
It was the funnest job I ever had. If I could make what I make now doing that, I would do that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then from there, COVID happened. The company closed down. I then shifted, and I got a little pay bump. I started doing commercial interior build outs with like sheetrock and framing. So I learned that trade.
Right.
So then now I learned, how to do dirt work, cut grade, which has to do with like civil plans and stuff. And then I learned how to be a carpenter. Well, then thought I was ready to, take more of a leadership role. So I got on with one of my friend's companies, a general contractor, where basically they subbed out all the trades, your concrete, MEPs, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, everything. And then basically it was our job to manage those guys. And I really enjoyed that, and that's where I started to get a salary and a company truck, which all that is great. I'm super thankful for. But I knew that I could make a lot more money elsewhere. It was just very scary to make that jump, because what I do now, as far as finances, it's kind of what I've always wanted on the financial side.
Right.
But I took that leap. I continued to leap, and I continued to press forward. And I just see so many people that want to, they think that they're gonna make that jump, and then boom, you're making 6 figures.
You know what's crazy? I was just looking at a TikTok from, I don't know if you know who Marcelo Hernandez is. It's a comedian. He's in SNL.
Yes.
Like he's super popular now, but like he was in a podcast. He was talking about like once I make millions, it's not gonna be because I'm funny and I'm right there, but it's because of like I went and I drove people around. I went and set up microphones. I went and did all these things, like that got his foot in the door, and then like you get rewarded for that time that you basically weren't making anything, but you knew that this is going to take you to the next level, right? So I think that you have the same mentality of like I'm going to start minimum wage, which I think you were 20?
I was in my 20s. I was probably 23.
23. Yeah, like you're 23 and you're like, man, like I'm going to go and work at, like a minimum wage is, and then girlfriend and a kid on the way, it's kind of like, man, like that has to take some guts and being like, man, you know what? Like I see the vision, I see where I want to go, I want to be here, and then you taking the leap of doing that. That's commendable. I think that's not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah, I do think more people should do it. Because in construction specifically, what happens a lot is you have some kid that went to like A&M or something for a construction management degree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, during his time in college, he's either in a fraternity or doing extracurricular activities at school, and then he graduates college, and then someone's like, hey, do you want to be a superintendent at my company? Well, now you just hired this 21-year-old kid who's never worked
No life
in the industry, and it kind of, the biggest issue with that, specifically with construction, which also ties into real estate, if you don't know what the people you're in charge of are doing or need to do,
Right.
you're not going to be a good leader.
Yeah. No, I think that's the same thing as a real estate agent. I think that we've seen it in at least in my career, as I've sold homes and I've helped investors mostly. That's more of what I've taken my career to, like in my later years. It's been just helping investors flip homes, but like I got so much knowledge out of being part of the project of like, what does it take to buy a house, build it out, doing the demo, doing plumbing, electrical, all those things that a regular agent fresh out of school wouldn't know, like
Sure.
those. So I think that ties into like the experience that you get and you give your clients now. It's better because you have some work experience.
For sure, because now, let's say in the event you go and show a house and you see a potential interested buyer and they love the house, but hey, I would really like to remodel this sink if I do decide to buy it. Well, now you can give a little insight on what exactly that's going to take.
Depending on what you want to do, it really depends, but
Correct.
you're not going to spend more than, I don't know, like $5,000-$6,000.
Yeah, you can give them a ballpark figure, and then you helped them out, and then they're going to be more inclined to refer you and be like, yeah, I mean, he helped me out with this, and this, and I mean, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Just knowing what you're doing and knowing what went into
building that or
Correct.
making it where it is now. No, I think that's super interesting. So as far as the customer service goes, do you think that like waiting tables, being a bartender, all those things helped you out in your career now? And do you think that like I think that it's very like, to me, it's like I think that somebody or everybody should have a waiting job at some point in their life, because like I think that customer service kind of carries along the way, like you make more money if you're more likable and as a waiter, as a bartender, and then I feel like that trickles down into your professional career or like your job now. What do you think about that?
I 100% agree. I think at least most Americans should almost be mandated to have a serving job. If you come out of grade school and you're a little cocky, that'll humble you pretty quick dealing with the public and people's expectations.
Like you're outside of your bubble.
Exactly. And then also, you're having to listen to someone other than your parents and teachers for your job, for you to make money, because you're essentially wanting these people to pay you based off how well you meet their demands.
Exactly.
And
how likable you are, how much can you carry their conversation, right? Like, I feel like that to me was something that stuck out about the customer service, is like making sure that they feel heard and you listening to what your client needs. Like as a waiter, it could have been like, oh, I'm really in the mood for chicken. Oh, we have this type of chicken, right? Like it's different things, but like meeting that demand or meeting that need for your client. I think that's super important. But yeah, I think what you said, it's like I think all Americans, everybody should wait tables once in their life.
For sure, yeah, it'll help you. Just don't get trapped waiting tables.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that.
I think that's at least for younger people, it's really hard to get out of that mindset, right? Of like, oh, well, I'm gonna make like whatever money that you make, and then you're gonna go to the bar, spend your money, and you're like, oh, I'll just make it up tomorrow, and like not seeing where you're gonna go Which, I mean, I think all jobs are honorable. All jobs
Sure.
are good as long as you're working and you're doing good for the community and your family and everything. Like I think that there's no bad jobs, right? Like there's really not. But as a younger person, it's kind of like, what do you want to do? Like, I mean, if you love doing waiting tables and that's what you like to do, like, more power to you.
Yeah, and there's opportunity to grow in that industry. The reason why I said that is so many people become content with waiting tables because of the cash flow. You're getting paid every day.
But I don't even think that it's just waiting tables. I think it's just like any type of job.
That is
very
correct.
content of like, oh well, this is good. This is comfortable. I don't want to do anything else.
I think that's most of America.
Right.
Like after a certain point, a lot of people, and it might be most of the world too. I think after a certain point, people just get stagnant and content.
But is it? I mean, I could see like a different side of the coin on that. It's kind of like if your needs are met, like if you live a certain lifestyle and you're everything that you want is taken care of, or you can take care of everything that you want, and that's the job that keeps you there. I think that's fine too. Like I just think that, like, I think in today's society, in today's world, it's like we're just expected to like live like millionaires and like have this crazy lives and these trips every month type thing.
Cuban chains.
Cuban chains, gold plated steaks, all those things, and I feel like that's just not normal.
Yeah.
Like that's not normal. Like it's not like if you see like our parents and our generations before us, it was kind of like, oh, you buy a house, you get married, you have kids, and then you retire, and then that's basically it.
Yeah.
Maybe one trip every year, every 2 years, something like that. And it's like that was what was normal back then.
Door salesman.
You always heard about the door-to-door salesman, but I can be.
Yeah, I definitely don't do that, but more power to the people that do that.
You remember whenever you worked at
Oh my gosh. I didn't work at Walmart. I worked for not even Xfinity. It was like
It was like a
middleman to sell Xfinity, which I honestly wonder how lucrative that was as like the business owner that came up with that concept.
It's like you're the person that like comes up to people while they're shopping. It's like, who do you have as your internet provider? Is that
Yeah. I think I lasted.
You're like, oh no, I'm good, thank you.
I think I lasted about a week. A week. It was an experience to say the least. I just knew that I was bothering these people, and I was like, like I hate to be bothered. Like what really grinds my gears, I really dislike when people approach me at the gas pump, specifically in Houston.
Yeah.
You
just
because
never
that's
know.
at your like most vulnerable
Yeah.
point, and someone's like super close to you, and a lot can happen really fast, so it bothers
You
me.
just never know, especially in Houston. Like you're going into like a gas station or whatever. It might be kind of sketchy, and you just don't know who's gonna approach you. But I think that's interesting to see. But like now that you're going about your shopping, like you go to the grocery store and somebody comes up to you, like do you get flashbacks of that experience?
I think I pretty much curbside everything now,
It's like,
just because my job is to deal with the public, so I try to minimize those experiences. I used to like going out all the time, as
Yeah.
you know. Like I was Good Time Charlie. I
Good Time
enjoyed I enjoyed the socialization that it brought,
yeah.
opportunities to meet new people and stuff. And now I'm tired. Like
Yeah.
I'm burnt out on that.
And
So
then
I
like,
mean,
you have young kids too,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like it's not gonna be the best thing to go out and
yeah.
every
Yeah.
weekend type thing. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. Is there anything that you wanted to talk on or like bring up about your experience or how people can contact you? Do you want to leave your contact information on the podcast?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put it right here. Like it'll be right there on the screen. But yeah, bro, I think that we can start wrapping up the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I think that I think that this is a very cool experience for me because I get to talk to not only my friends but like people as professionals
Sure.
and what what they deal with and like their experiences, and I think that that's super cool. You're like the first person I thought of. I was like, man, who can I invite that's gonna be like cool to talk to and has experiences, and I know that what you've gone through, you know, it's been crazy, and your journey as like a waiter to you know, construction, like making minimum wage to like
Yeah.
where you're at now, you know, selling luxury windows and doors. I think that that's commendable, and I think that that's a story that like it'd be interesting to hear, and then I think that it was super interesting to see like what your mindset was of like, oh, going from waiting tables, making okay money to like, boom, minimum wage to like where you're at now.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. I think everybody that's questioning, you know, what they're doing, if that's what they want to do, and is it if they're being compensated enough to really consider making that jump, because sometimes it can work out for the best interest of yourself and your families.
Yeah.
But no,
think-
I've enjoyed this.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. And again, I think that that's the entrepreneurial or like the business side of things is kind of like taking the leap of like, man, I'm scared. I have bills to pay. I have this and that to do, and then now it's like, okay, I'm here. I'm jumping in. I'm going, and I'm crushing it. You know, like I think that it takes some time, but like you said, like everybody has a process. It's not gonna be like somebody's just gonna call you and be like, hey, you know, make 6 figures. would you like to make 6 figures? It's not like that, you know.
Yeah,
Some
and if
people
so,
might
you
have
might
it.
be getting scammed.
Yeah, I heard it saying that it's like if people wanna show you how to make money, but they're charging you for it, it's probably fake.
Yeah, it's a good rule of thumb.
It's like if somebody wants to show you, they can show you. But yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here. Let me give you a round of applause real quick. Thank you so much, and yeah, stay tuned for the next episode.